Welcome to DMI Wealth Management Insurance Solutions. We're at the home office in Sweetwater, Texas, talking about the things that matter right now.
Since our last webcast in November, we've had an amazing amount of news, and here are 5 highlights. The Fed, recession, impeachment, tariffs, and earnings, and a whole lot more. It was hard to celebrate Christmas when the market hit a low and it felt a little like Halloween. But when the news goes negative, it's time to focus on facts. Our unemployment rate is still long below long-term averages. 1970 was the last time it was this low. Then a gallon of gas was 36 cents to put in your car, and it only cost 6 cents to mail a letter. Companies buying their own stock hit a high point by the end of the third quarter. Now here's my question. Why would you buy your own stock at some of the highest market prices if you didn't think highly of your company's long-term future? Corporate earnings grew by 24.9% in the third quarter as well. 2019 expectations are for earnings to grow, not shrink, but just at a lower pace. Other parts of the world, like Europe and China, are facing growth challenges, but the U.S. gross domestic product is expected to be around 2.3, according to the CBO recent report. This is a slightly lower rate than the 3.0% rate in 2018, but definitely higher than 2016 or 2017. Now again, when the news media is negative, my guess is you feel better when you hear the facts.
Since our last video, there have been some warning signs surfacing. First, the yield curve is inverted. In short, that means short-term rates are higher than long-term rates. This is a signal that a stock market pullback is on the horizon. Usually takes about 18.6 months until this begins, and sometimes an economic recession could follow. City National Rockdale has 20 forward-looking economic indicators, and some are showing notable changes, moving from positive to neutral. You have monetary policy, housing and mortgages, international economic outlook. On the negative side, we have the political environment and geopolitical risk. Equity market valuation, however, moved from neutral to positive. And most importantly, 15 of the 20 economic speedometers are still positive. Now, why is this important? The markets are changing. Historical data also tells a story of how we can model future expectations. Economic speedometers and the yield curve are very important tools used in our overall market and economic analysis. We can expect equity volatility moving forward, but we think equities will continue moving higher over the next 3 to 6 months. Why? Earnings are forecasted to be very positive. Earnings growth may not be as robust as the past few years. However, some companies have lowered their 2019 growth expectations. But the caveat is companies are growing, just at a lower rate. As Jeremy mentioned earlier, jobs are aplenty and there still aren't enough folks to fill the available jobs. Now, what do we think about all this data? It means that a storm is brewing on the horizon and we're preparing. These signals indicate this is a time for a portfolio review. Let me provide perspective from the 1980s. In 1983, when the Cold War was really ramping up, a movie called War Games hit the theaters. Long story short, a supercomputer called the Whopper went rogue during a war simulation game and almost caused World War III between us and the Russians. The result? The military raised the National Defense Readiness Condition to its highest state, DEFCON 1. If we've been at DEFCON 5 as far as the markets are concerned for years with no real scares, and DEFCON 1 is an all-out crisis and markets crash, we would say we are currently at DEFCON 4. We're not sounding the alarm just yet, we're arming you with valuable information so we can make adjustments when and where they are necessary.
What's got our attention lately? My wife and I recently attended a marriage seminar where we were reminded of a small, sometimes overlooked detail. Men and women are different. One way we are different is how we approach a problem. Men want to fix the problem when we hear about it, and women want to hear about the problem to explore it. So when I hear about a problem, I want to do the man thing and offer a fix, even when I wasn't asked for one. So, what am I thinking about today? I want to remember who I'm listening to. I want to fix the problem only if I'm asked.
What's got my attention lately? Fascinating sports predictions. But first, Jeremy, thank you for dropping that bombshell that men and women are in fact different. A lot of college football pundits and fans predicted Nick Saban's Alabama squad would beat Clemson during this past college football playoff. The amount of passion and energy going into these predictions is flat out amazing to me. Many missed this prediction, but looking back over the last 10 years, the Crimson Tide historically is the team to beat, and they're usually ranked number one most seasons. Also, the Tide has 5 titles over the last 10 years. It seems logical for football fans to pick Alabama to win it all every year, based on past performance. Alabama has also become the team that college football fans love to hate, especially in the SEC. Clemson beating Alabama was quite a feat. They've done it twice in the last 3 years. And it makes me wonder if Dabo Swinney and his Clemson Tigers are the next football team that college football fans will love to hate. This story reminds me of a storied NFL franchise, the New England Patriots. By the way, they're back in the Super Bowl yet again. I wonder who has predicted the Patriots will win it all this year.
So when it comes to the markets or relationships, we hear about problems all the time. So remember who you're listening to. In general, the news media has to keep you interested. If it bleeds, it leads. So they tend to lead with the most dramatic news. Predicting the next big drop is tricky. Trying to guess the markets could cause a major upset in your long-term financial situation. So let's spend some time reviewing on an individual basis what's important to you. Thanks for watching. I'm Jeremy Dodd for John McPherson, talking about the things that matter right now.
When it was in the 70-cent range, I drove a 1978 Ford Bronco. If it was today, I'd probably splurge with the gas savings I'd have and go ahead and get a Bugatti Veyron.
A Caterpillar D5, I think that's one of the mid-range bulldozers because I just want to tear up things. Absolutely, that's me. It's my personality.